What's up, y'all? It's your boy Broadway, and tonight we are back with some more discussion about gaming hardware, and more specifically about why I am done. I got in, I got lucky, I invested early, and now your boy Broadway, he's out. All right, he's out of there. So pretty much what just breaking down what this video is going to be doing is I was already done, but Sony helped me because, as you guys know, they have just made the announcement not too long ago to stop physical releases as of January 2028, which is a good about 2 years from now, year and some change, year and a half or so. So guys, you see it in the thumbnail. I got me a Switch 2. I got me a PS5 Pro. I'm gonna go ahead and invest in a disk drive. And I think I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna call it a night for many nights to come. I'm gonna be calling it a night because it's just getting ridiculous. They talking about the they raised the prices of the Xboxes again. The Series X is $800. The Series S is $600. PS5 Pro is 900. They talking about the Project Helix gonna be 1,000 plus $1,200. They talking about the PS6 gonna be $1,000, maybe more. I'm good. You wanna know why I'm good? Because specifically with the PS5 Pro, the pisser technology, that AI upscaling, all right, it's getting updates. It's just gonna get better. And that's the whole point of this shit, right? To let the AI upscaling do more of the heavy lifting for the visuals. So the hardware can be cheaper. But we ain't gonna get into that, you know. My whole point in saying that is I highly doubt in the next 10 years, all right, and to go with my little gaming setup, all right, I got an OLED monitor, all right. I don't play about my quality. I want the best. I want to see the freckles. I want to see the pores. I want to say everything I can. All right, I want it. I want the gold. I want my butter shoes. All right, and so yeah, I highly doubt that any game within the next 8 to 10 years, it ain't. I doubt it ain't gonna look good on PS5, on the PS5 Pro, even on the base PS5. I highly doubt it. All right, it's really gonna take some convincing for me to wanna trade my to uptrade my PS5 Pro up to a PS6. You really gonna have to sell me. You're gonna have to convince me. All right, because it's gonna be really, really hard. And you done helped me, especially talking about that you're going full digital. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bust out $80, $90 for a disk drive, and I'm going to call it a day. And it's just crazy, y'all. And we're going to go ahead and tie all this in when going into this next bit, because I guess gaming in a way kind of always has been, because it's kind of been expensive for people middle class, lower class, people who just struggle families essentially. But you know, especially nowadays, it is a luxury hobby. It's a luxury hobby that is saturated with video games that are cannibalizing each other. All right. And that's really been the case even before, the beast known as GTA 6 has been coming around. You know, it's games have just been coming out boom, boom, left and right, left and right. It's crazy. People, there's a lot of people in a lot of different gaming communities. If you look over in the Call of Duty community, the first person shooter community, you would think that gaming was it was the end of the world when it came to gaming, because motherfuckers over there just be some, not everybody, but some. I be seeing a lot of motherfuckers over there talking about how, you know, it's just there ain't no games coming out. We ain't got nothing, and it's like, what do you mean? There's game when we're gonna, like I said, this is all gonna tie into each other because it's a luxury hobby that's saturated by games that are cannibalizing each other. and we're just gonna go right into the fact of backlogs. But before we get into backlogs are good. Go ahead and get real comfortable with the games that you haven't played yet. That maybe it's been years. All right. I was on Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X. I didn't have a PS4. Okay. Most of that time it was on One S. I don't even know why I said One X. But I was on the Xbox One, and then I got the One S, and then that was it for years to come. Never got a PS4 because at that time I was in my adult life. I was struggling. I couldn't afford it. And I was making bad decisions. But so let's just go into why these two systems? Why the Nintendo Switch 2? Why the PS5 Pro? And well, specifically, let's start with the first system I got, the Nintendo Switch 2. Now I got it at full retail price last year around October. $450. Didn't get the Mario Kart bundle. Didn't really not I love me some Mario Kart, but I wasn't fiending for it. And again, we'll get into the reason why. But backlogs. All right. Would I recommend a Nintendo Switch 2? In today's market, yes, especially after because everybody's raising prices. Okay, especially after Valve raised prices on the Steam Deck and everything. A year ago, I would have told you and get a Steam Deck over a Nintendo Switch, unless you're just a guy that hasn't played Nintendo games and you're all of a sudden developing an interest in that, then I would have told you to get the Steam Deck. But now, in July 2026, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you to get a Nintendo Switch 2. All right, it's 450, maybe I think just $500. That even still a $50 price increase. Go ahead and get it now because I think they've already said that the price is going to increase again before the end of this year is out. All right. I don't know how much it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be tremendous like Microsoft and Sony's been doing, but yeah, I would recommend the Nintendo Switch 2. But like I said, it also depends on why you're getting it. Why did I, why did Broadway get a Nintendo Switch 2? Well, my main source of income right now for the past year or so has been Uber. All right. And when I did get the Nintendo Switch 2 last year, back in October, I was driving an electric vehicle, an EV. All right. And if for any of you people out there that's watching this video who may own an electric vehicle or have had one in the past, I'm gonna say you would have had to have had it for about a year to understand what I'm about to say because you got to know you got to have all the seasons, right? And man, that brutal winter last year, all right, I'm here in North Carolina. The winter was brutal, all right, and I had a Hyundai Ioniq 5. On a nice warm sunny day, you could get that thing charged up in about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour at most. That damn cold comes in, them EV batteries ain't meant for the cold. All right. That shit went from 20 minutes to an hour and a half to 2 hours. And that Nintendo Switch, that saved my damn life from boredom just sitting there. Like, yeah, I can watch YouTube videos, but that's just, I'm good. I would rather play video games because that just makes the time go by like that. And, for me personally, and this is going into one of Nintendo and Sony's problems, mainly Nintendo's problems, their first party games, them motherfuckers are never on sale. Now it is funny me saying that right now because Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is on sale right now. And I think maybe like a Mario game or two. But guys, I swear to God, it's just coincidence. 9 times out of 10, their first party games are never on sale. But that's a caveat to what I'm going into. I didn't get a Nintendo Switch 2 for Nintendo games. I got it for, look, going into some more history about myself. The type of gamer I used to be, I was nothing but really a shooter head. First person shooters, third person shooters, and some God of War and Monster Hunter to mix in between. But for the most part, it was Call of Duty, Halo, Gears of War. Those were my single player experiences, and those were also my competitive multiplayer experiences. That was gaming for me for years. Years. I missed out on a lot of experiences. And it wasn't until recently, within, the 2020s, when I started getting into other single player games like the Soul series and more survival horror. I was into survival horror before. Like, I played Doom 3 back in the day. I played Resident Evil 4. I played the original Dead Space. You know, I never played the original Resident Evil 2 and all that, but you know, I'm growing as a gamer. I want more experiences. I'm looking at gaming more now as a complete art form because I'm an artist myself. I look at gaming as a video games as a complete art form rather than just a space for me to be competitive in. And so I'm expanding. I'm going to try out all these games, and this is where it gets into back catalogs, guys. I got a video on my channel. It's called the there was four showcases, the four showcases, and the 43 games I want from them. All right, in the next in the next year, okay, from here till the end of 2027. So the next year and a half, there are 43 games I want, okay? And I got a back catalog that is full of games. And I can go ahead and tell you right now, the majority of these 43 games coming out, and some of them have already come out. Pragmata, Sorrows. All right, some of these games have already come out. All right. And 43 more are coming. Okay. So get used to your back catalog. Because a lot of these games that are coming out, some of them are priced really well. Like Avatar, the Avatar fighting game, $30. And if you get the digital deluxe or just deluxe in general, $50. All right. Some of these games are going to be priced really well. But the vast majority of these games are going to be 60. They're going to be 70. One of them is going to be 80 or 100. Okay. And that's just what it is. So now, and that's why I got into the Nintendo Switch. Games. Let's just go ahead and pull this up right here. Nintendo Switch gameplay. All right. Enjoy the back catalog. So you can see some of these right here, like Shinobi Art of Vengeance, Monster Hunter Rise, Metroid Dread. I'm playing through that right now. I've beaten Hollow Knight Silksong, but I haven't beaten the first Hollow Knight. I've beaten Blasphemous 1, haven't beaten the second one. I'm going through that right now. So let's just go ahead. We're going to dive into the back catalog. And games like, let me just give you an example. Games like Blasphemous, Hollow Knight, Metroid, Shinobi, and Ori, and the Blind Forest and the Will of the Wisps. I beat those two games just earlier this year. Those were my first times playing those two games. And now Moon Studios, they're dropping the full release of No Rest for the Wicked coming October. And I'm going to be playing that on PS5. Okay. And that's a perfect example. I tried playing Ori and the Blind Forest on Xbox Game Pass back in the day. I just couldn't get into it because those types of games I'm used to playing on a handheld. I played those types of games on like PSP, like the side-scrolling Metroidvania types of games. I played it on PSP, the Game Boy, and the GameCube, like Nintendo consoles. Okay, and even though like Hollow Knight, that's not a Nintendo first-party exclusive, but games like Hollow Knight and Hades, these games are perfect Nintendo Switch games, and this is why I got this system so I could experience these games like this. It just felt weird. I tried Hollow Knight on Xbox Game Pass as well. It just felt weird on a console, on the main, like not a handheld. I know you can dock the Switch, but I mean like just a mainline, just a straight up console. Hollow Knight for me, it don't belong on the Xbox. It belongs on a Switch. It belongs on this type of console. So that's why I got the Switch. And because of my work, Uber, it takes up time sitting there waiting on rides or I'm charging. Sit there, bust this out, get a few runs in on Hades, like progress in Blasphemous, play some Hollow Knight, do the boss rush in Shinobi, hunt some monsters in Monster Hunter until I get a ride. But like I said, let's get into my back catalog. And maybe you guys will see some games that you yourselves haven't played either. But these are the games that I want to get specifically on Switch. So we're just gonna go start up from the top, go down. Sonic, Shadow Generations, and you'll see it down the list later. But also Sonic Frontiers. I don't want to play those games on something like a PlayStation. I'm like that's just I don't know. It just don't feel right. I played Sonic on the PSP. It don't feel right. Pac-Man World 2, Lies of P. Now, I've beaten Lies of P on Xbox like 4 times, and I've said it before. I'm only gonna get this on the Switch if the handheld mode can at least run at 1080p 60 FPS. If they can get that, I'll be all over it because that sounds like a great time. But Rayman, that type of game, I'll be ready for it. Spyro, I've only played one of the Spyro games from the original trilogy. I see they got the trilogy on here. I'm gonna play it on here. I'm gonna play this one when I might get Realm Beyond on PlayStation because I remember playing Spyro on PS1, so I might actually play that on the PlayStation. But um, Xenoblade. I watched the direct that Xenoblade Genesis, that Halo style world that they're in. That sold me. Never played a Xenoblade game, so I'm going to be playing the trilogy of Chronicles on the Switch too. All right. Never played the original Ocarina of Time. I haven't touched, guys. You're gonna look at me like, what? I have never touched a Zelda game, any Zelda game. Okay, I just didn't. Like I said in my video, I owned a 3DS for a month. I think I may have played a little bit of Zelda on that. Didn't beat it. Just at that time, I didn't care for it because, like I said, I was into shooters, FPSs. So I'm gonna be doing the remake right here. All right. Can't wait for the Dusk Bloods that's just there. Never played the original Star Fox. I'm gonna be getting this remake. Mouse PI for Hire. Something from the backlog. I've already mentioned Sonic Frontiers. Dispatch, something I missed. I gotta play. And I'm just going to tell you right now, any Nintendo first party game is in the backlog. So most of that is on here. All these Mario games, Odyssey, Galaxies. I missed South of Midnight. And South of Midnight, that doesn't necessarily feel like a Switch game, but it feels cozy. It feels like a cozy game that you just want to snuggle in bed. Look at the stop motion, basic repetitive combat, but that's what I mean. That feels more in line. It's just a cozy game. You ain't got to think too much. You just play it, get a good story, and move on through. Some more Mario, Yoshi. That was mostly going to be for my son right there. That's just Blasphemous 2 stuff. Final Fantasy Tactics. I want to play that on the Switch. It feels perfect for the handheld. Some grid. It Takes Two. I've played Limbo. I got insight on this too. I just love replaying these games. Cocoon. I've missed Cocoon. Apparently, this is from a couple of the devs that worked on Limbo and Inside. So I definitely got to get that. That's on the wish list. I've never played System Shock. Okay. So System Shock remake and the System Shock 2 anniversary. I'm gonna play those. I love House of the Dead too. I just got that on here. Never played Super Hot. I'm going to play that. Splatoon 3. I think that's like Nintendo's like live service type of shooter game. That's like their type of like Fortnite in a way. I don't know. I'm not saying like in a battle royale. I just mean like their shooter type of game. I think that's Nintendo's shooter. So I got to try that. It looks fun. Both of these Zeldas. Gotta play them. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I gotta play that. Nine Souls. Mega Man 11. Okami. Damon X Machina. I might end up getting that on the PlayStation. Who knows? Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Monster Hunter went off to Nintendo for a long time and didn't come back to console until World. So I got to play that. Another Crab's Treasure. I tried that on the Game Pass. I got a little bit into it. Just didn't feel right. It feels more in line with a handheld comfy experience. That game. It's a comfy game. All right. The Rogue Prince of Persia. I think I've also got it. That's another thing I'll have to show y'all too. Divinity 2. Out of Words. I haven't even seen gameplay of that. I've just seen pictures, but I put it on there because it looks tight. I haven't played a single Metroid game, so I got to play all those 1 through 4 and finish up Dread. Contra, all right, more galaxies, Kart, World, all the Mario's. Like I said, Streets of Rage 4. Haven't played that one. I gotta play Absalom. All right, I gotta play Donkey Kong Bonanza. I think I've played Country back. That I did play that. I remember doing that. Yeah, I gotta get Hades 2. I gotta get whoops. I was down at the very, very, very bottom. I was at the very end when I did that too. I think I was at Kunitsugami. Yeah, I tried playing Kunitsugami on Game Pass. It's like a real like stylized like type of action combat tower defense game. Wasn't really rocking with it at the time, but it that style of game, it feels like it should be on a handheld, man. So I put it on there. I'm gonna buy it, man. Marvel Comic Invasion, Cosmic Invasion. Sorry, I've played Galaga. I love Galaga. Haven't played Cuphead. That's in the backlog. It was like a Nintendo Switch game. And then finally, to end off the Nintendo Switch backlog stuff, because the rest of it it's going to be on the main console. Ninja Gaiden, Ragebound. These are the developers that did Blasphemous made this. So I'm very excited to dive into that when I can. But I was talking about earlier how Nintendo first party games are just always full price, $60, $70. So expensive. They barely ever have them on sale. This is these are the games I have. I've got 20 games. 2 of them are free to play, and 2 of them I bought full price. Resident Evil Requiem and Metroid Dread. Now, to give credit to Requiem, that's just a brand new game. It's not a Nintendo first party. But for the case of argument, let's just put it in the same box because it's a brand new title released at $70. When I first got the Switch 2 last year, most of these games I got within that last quarter. So I've already got it all added up. I'm not going to do it in the calculator right now, but these are in the back. These are backlog too. Some of them I played, some of them I haven't gotten to yet. Darksiders Genesis. I love the Darksiders games. Played Darksiders 1, played Darksiders 2. Then I was waiting for Strife to get his own game, but then I saw it was like an isometric style game, and it was also co-op with War, and I was like, I'm good on that. I don't want to play that on. I'm good. I just don't like it. As soon as I got my Switch 2, that was one of the first games I bought because I thought about it. Because I saw Darksiders 3. Haven't played that, but I'm gonna play that on the PS5. And then I remembered this, and it was like, that feels like it would be like a Switch game. So I bought it. But Darksiders Genesis, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Hades, Doom Eternal, Silk Song, Mortal Kombat 1 with the DLC, House of the Dead Remake, Blasphemous 1 and 2, Shadow Labyrinth, Monster Hunter Rise, Inside, Hollow Knight, Ori 1 and 2, and Shinobi. All of these games, 16 of these games cost a whopping $174. Do you want to know how much combined Resident Evil Requiem and Metroid Dread cost me? $130. Guys, enjoy your backlog. Find deals. And especially if you don't really care about Nintendo first party games, get a Nintendo Switch 2 if you're trying to go handheld. Unless you just got money, if you got big bucks, go ahead and invest in like a Legion Go or a Steam Deck. But this right here, the Nintendo Switch, when it comes to handheld and the market and going forward in the future, I would get it because they're bringing games like Stellar Blade, Lies of P, Devil May Cry 5, I think it's already on here. You've seen Final Fantasy, Intergrade and Rebirth. You see how Requiem looks, how Pragmata plays. You know what I'm saying? Space Marine 2. I'm surprised that game is coming to Switch 2. So if they're able to do games like this, and you got the beast himself, Miyazaki, directing a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive in the Dusk Bloods, Oh man, this little guy, this little console right here, he's something. All right, he's got a bone to pick. All right, and he's pissed. All right, he wants it all. He wants the gold. All right, Nintendo, that Switch 2, he wants his butter shoes. But I would recommend it. Okay, and even outside, if you know, I'm looking to get in like naturally. I'm in the ecosystem. I'm gonna get Nintendo first party games at some point just because it's gonna draw my attention. But for the most part, like I got Blasphemous 1 and 2 both combined $10, as a bundle package, $10. I got the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, $16. It's a huge experience for just $16. Hollow Knight, $15. Hollow Knight Silk Song. Let's just like draw comparisons real quick. Like Elden Ring. I put 150 hours into my first playthrough of Elden Ring. Never went back. Haven't played the DLC yet either. All right. That game cost $60. Hollow Knight Silk Song cost $20. Guess how much time I put into that game? 110 hours. Damn near the same amount. The value is in the experience and what you can drag out of it. All right. So that's the Nintendo Switch side. I'm done talking about Nintendo Switch 2. I love my Nintendo Switch 2. We're going on, what? In a few months from now, like we're 3/4 of a year. All right, about 8 to 9 months I've had this baby. And I've loved every minute of it. All right. So I recommend it. That's going to be it for the Nintendo Switch 2 portion. Next up, we're going to be talking about my backlog that I have to tackle on my PS5 Pro. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. What's up, y'all? And we are back with the PS5 Pro portion of my backlog. Now, I had recorded this video last night, but that second half, the audio started fucking up. I was fucking up. I was tired. I was yawning. It was a slugfest. So, my backlog for the PlayStation, you guys saw what it looked like on the Nintendo. I got a lot of games, and that's going to continue heavily onto this. As y'all know as well, I skipped the PS4 generation, so I've got some games. I got time, and I got a lot to play. All right, now let's just look at what I got downloaded. What have I missed? What am I playing to get out the backlog? What am I doing to clear it out right now, baby? All right, haven't started it yet, but Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. All right, that's on here. I love the old ones. This is one I haven't played. All right, Sword of the Sea. I remember seeing this last year when it was announced, and thinking, damn, that shit looks cool. So can't wait to get that. I haven't played barely any of the older Resident Evils. I've played Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, and I've played Resident Evil 6. All right, those are my experiences. All right, I haven't played Classic 2, Classic 3, Classic 1, nothing. So I'm going through Resident Evil 2 right now. I just reached the nest. I'll make a video on it at some point, don't you worry. And yeah, after that, you'll see when we get to the wish list, because I gotta play the Resident Evil 4 Remake 2. I gotta get the Leon Legacy, baby. So, what else am I also clearing out? Returnal. This game, bar none, it has to be the best exclusive / original IP that's come out this entire console generation within the last 8 to 9 years. All right, and especially now after putting about, I don't know why I don't say it, 32 hours into it, and I'm still not done. This is the best thing that's come to anything exclusive or original IP wise, in my opinion, in this whole generation. So I like playing Mortal Kombat 1, that's why I got that on there. I have not played Valhalla yet. I have beaten Ragnarok, but I have not played Valhalla. And I did play God of War 2018 already as well. So yeah, that's in the bag. I gotta play Silent Hill 2. All right, and the rest of them too. You'll see that on the wish list. I didn't play the original Demon Souls on PS3. I wasn't a Souls fan at the time. So I will be playing the Blue Point Demon Souls soon. I have the base game for Elden Ring. I've beaten it. The only thing I really need to do is get Shadow of the Erd Tree. And yeah, that's Rainbow Six. That's got nothing to do with nothing. Let's go ahead, head over to the PlayStation Store and take a look at the back catalog, the wish list. Now, I know what you're thinking. 2 of the first games on my wish list are games that are new. How are they on the backlog Broadway if they're new? Because I know for a fact that come September, come October, I'm not buying these 2 games. I thought about maybe pushing Townfall to, I might buy that Halloween time. But I can tell you right now, for the last quarter, the last half of this year, there's 2 games, maybe 3, that I am for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, buying. And I guess the one that I'm on the fence about, that I'm probably going to get so I can play co-op with my son, is Halo Campaign Evolved. All right, that comes out later this month. It's only like $50. I think I can make that work. But I know for a fact the rest of this year, it's only 2 or 3 more games I'm for sure gonna buy. And one of them comes out the same day as Townfall, and that is Control Resonant. All right, I gotta get that. I love Control, and yeah, that's being bought. All right, Remedy, that's being bought. And now next month into October, I don't know what day it's gonna be. I don't think they've gone into specifics, and I think there's gonna be an entire direct showcase for this game later in August, maybe this month. But Phantom Blade Zero. And that's another thing. I don't need to see anything else about that game. I'm ready for it. I want it. And, you know, the next one, I'm not sure yet. You'll see it on the wish list. But GTA 6. I don't know if I'm going to get that day one. We'll see. We'll see. And it's not because I don't know. We're going to see. But Control Resonant and Phantom Blade Zero, that's official. But, you know, we got Silent Hill Townfall, Marvel's Wolverine from Insomniac. We got Onimusha, Way of the Sword. We got Ace Combat 8 coming out later this... Bro, these games I can't wait for, but like I said, they're going to be put into the backlog because that's a lot of money, y'all. That's money. And we got to do what we got, all right? So those will be added to the backlog. And I got to play this before Gen Alpha comes out. A Shadow of the Colossus. All right, I got to play that. Missed it. That's the remake. I missed the original and the remake. So let's just do the remake. This one right here. You know what? This is actually going from newest that I've added to old. Let's sort it from the oldest to new. Some of these things I completely forgot about. But Resident Evil 4 remake. Like I said, played the original Resident Evil 4, but I've pretty much missed every remake. I'm trying to decide if I want to do our RE3 remake. A lot of people just really weren't a fan of that. So yeah, we got to do that. I'm a fighting game head. I'm going to try out Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. It's $20. If I get shit on and I don't feel like sticking around to progress, I didn't lose out on much. There's GTA, like I said. That might be added to the backlog. Who knows? Lords of the Fallen, the sequel, just got announced not too long ago. You know, this is only $10. I'm gonna have to get it. I'm gonna have to get it. Sorrows. As soon as I beat Returnal, I don't know, y'all, because I love Returnal. I'm in the mind space for it. I love the gameplay. Something I might have to replace. I might have to replace one of these games I was thinking about getting with Sorrows. Because goddamn, I love Returnal. And if Sorrows is anything like it, which is pretty much a spiritual successor, oh man, we're gonna have to see. But Crimson Desert, missed that. Gotta get it. Campaign Evolved, that's coming. Hopefully I can get it day one. I gotta play Lost Soul Aside. You know, Control, that's only on the wish list because I have to get it on this system. And I'm going to play Control before I play Control Resonant again. Not Resonant again, but I'm going to play Control again before Resonant so I can get the whole story. Alan Wake 2. I think I played 1 hour or 2 of Alan Wake 2. and then that was it. I gotta get back into it because I love the Alan Wake story. Avatar Legends is coming out soon. They got the beta going on right now. All right, Horizon 6 is on Xbox, but that's in the backlog. So whenever it's on PS5, boom, I'll get it. Devil May Cry 5. I've only played Devil May Cry 3 and 4, so 5 I gotta get to. And if they do a remake for 1, I don't feel like going back to 1 and all that. That's a bit too old for me. So we'll wait and see if they do remakes. I told you guys earlier, Ori. I played Ori 1 and 2 for the first time this year. And Moon Studios, they've had No Rest for the Wicked in early access for a good while now, it feels like. So when that comes to its full access release on the PS5 here in October, I'll be getting it. Moon Studios, you won me with Ori. Love Street Fighter and Tekken. I gotta get those. I've played them, but I gotta get them on this console now. Invincible Versus, fighting game galore. There's no reason. There's something out here for everybody these days. Tokon Fighting Souls. I won't be getting that day one, but that's on the backlog. Just like Invincible Versus is right now. Helldivers 2, missed that. You gotta get that. I missed Dragon's Dogma 2, the base game, so I gotta play that before Dark Arisen comes out. Like I said, Onimusha, it's coming out at the end of September. I think the same damn day as Silent Hill and Control. So that's, come on man, too much. Backlog. Ace Combat 8, backlog. Along with Ace Combat 7, because I missed that. Backlog. Alright. Was a fan of Ace Combat 3 on the PS1 and a fan of Ace Combat 6 on the 360. So I gotta go back where 8 comes out. I'm a fan of Guerrilla Games. You know, the first game I downloaded when I got a base PS5 from Rent-A-Center back in 2022, for God of War Ragnarok specifically, but before that, the first game I downloaded was Killzone Shadowfall, because that was one of my favorite shooters. I love the multiplayer in Killzone. And come to find out, when I downloaded that game back in 2022, that was about 3 or 4 months after Guerrilla shut down the servers. I was a sad, sad boy. I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West yet, but it's from them. I love Killzone, so I'll have to give those 2 games a shot. Alright, what can I say? Monster Hunter Wilds, you guys saw on the Switch 2 portion. I gotta get Generations Ultimate. I'm playing through Rise and Sunbreak right now. I probably won't get to Wilds until 2027 when the Ascendance DLC comes out. So that'll be perfect timing for me, honestly. I got 2 Monster Hunter games to really go through right now, and that should take plenty of time. Alright? Silent Hill Townfall, Silent Hill F, and you guys saw on my home screen, Silent Hill 2. My backlog is full of Silent Hill games, alright? So I can't wait to get them. Alright, I've played Outlast 1 and 2. Outlast Trials is more multiplayer experience, but it looks so damn good. I gotta try it. It's only $12 right now. I think that deal ends the 16th. I might just go ahead and scoop that for GP. Like I said, I'm beating the base game, but I gotta do Shadow of the Erd Tree, you know? That's like 40-50 hours right there just for a DLC that I'm gonna have to put in. Same thing with the Lies of P Overture. Beaten Lies of P, but have not played Overture yet, so I'm gonna have to get through that. Alright, I missed out on Split Fiction. You guys saw It Takes Two on the Switch, but I think I'll save Split Fiction for the PS5 specifically. I gotta play Pragmata. Missed that. Completely forgot. Completely forgot that Darksiders 4 got announced. So I'm gonna just run through the trilogy again. Haven't played the third one. So when I mean again, I'm gonna go through 1 and 2 again and then jump into the third one for the first time. Alright. Expedition 33. That's a banger that I missed. Alright. I missed Crash Bandicoot 4. Played the trilogy back in the day and the Insane trilogy remake, but completely missed out on 4. So I gotta get that. It only sucks because I wish I would have played it when I had the Xbox, because it was on Game Pass. Now a nigga gotta pay $60 for it, which we might just go and find a used version if it's on disc somewhere. I missed out on Sifu. I gotta play that. I missed out on Stellar Blade. Guys, my backlog is crazy, I'm telling you. Ninja Gaiden 4. High on Life 2. A lot of you gonna be looking at me like, what? But The Witcher 3 has been out for how long? Haven't played it. So The Witcher 4 is gonna be coming out, I guess, next year, maybe 2028, who knows? I'll play The Witcher 3 by then. It's okay. This game is like 120 gigabytes, so I know it's fucking huge. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. This game is hilarious. The Order 1886. I remember reading Game Informer magazines, watching GameSpot interviews and breakdown videos. Man, the hype train for this game was fucking real. And I don't think it landed with people because it was one of those very first experiences that was kind of like more walking, talking. There's a little bit of action here and there, but it was more so like a cinematic experience. And that was like one of the first games to truly bring that. I think this was even before like Last of Us and stuff. So The Order 1886, it's a game I gotta get to. I've only played Final Fantasy 15 and 16, so 7 Rebirth, Intergrade. I gotta play those before Revelation comes out. All right. I love me some Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. Back 4 Blood, you screwed me. So John Carpenter, Toxic Commando, gives me some Left 4 Dead vibes. I can't wait to jump into it. Let's see. Marathon. I'm a Bungie dude. I know the Bungie that exists now ain't the Bungie that was about 10 years ago or so. But unlike Destiny 1, didn't play Destiny 2. That's not in the back catalog because the way they've got the experiences and the DLC and just everything's like set up for it's just weird. Like, so I'm not even gonna bother with it. But Marathon, I'll give it a shot. Black Myth Wukong, missed that. Gotta give it a shot. I already talked about Dogma 2. I gotta do both of the Ghost games. I gotta play through Tsushima and I gotta do Ghost of Yotei. I missed them both. All right. Hell is Us. I think that's like a modern futuristic kind of like Souls like game. Looked cool when I was watching it, so I put it on the wish list. It's in the backlog. Redacted. This comes from Crafton Studios. They're the same dudes who did the, some would say, awful Callisto Protocol. I wouldn't say the game is awful. It's just a very big disappointment. And Redacted is in the same universe, but a completely different game. It's not survival horror. I think it's like a roguelike or something. I'm not sure what the fuck it is, but I'm interested in the world of the Callisto Protocol, so I'll get that. I'm gonna play Redacted at some point. The first Berserker Kazan, nothing but praise for this game. Missed it. I'll have to play it. Wu Chang. I think I played Wu Chang for a little bit on Game Pass, and then they put out some patch that like removed a bunch of things and changed a lot of things in regards to like bosses, and I just fell off of it. So we'll see if I go back. I'm not sure because that patch they did, it kind of threw a bad taste in my mouth. Doom the Dark Ages. Love Doom 2016 and I love Doom Eternal. I played for like an hour or two of the Dark Ages on Game Pass, but that was a time where a lot was going on, so I just couldn't finish it. Really enjoyed what I was playing, but just couldn't push through it because, like I said, there was just a lot going on. But DLC's coming out, so I'll have to, officially finish it. Reanimal. I love Little Nightmares. Haven't played Little Nightmares 3, but I don't think I will because apparently these guys moved away. That's why Little Nightmares 3 was bad, because they were trying to censor them and they didn't want to be censored, so they went independent and made Reanimal. Gotta play that. Chronos, The New Dawn. This comes from Bloober, the guys who did Silent Hill 2 remake. So yeah, this, I saw some gameplay. Looks badass. Gives me Dead Space vibes. Doing some time dilation stuff. I love it. I played Infamous 1 and 2 on PS3. Completely missed Infamous Second Son. So that's going to be a game that I can't wait to go back into. And I think there's a DLC called First Light, which funny enough, because the next game I've missed recently is 007 First Light. This is from IO Interactive. They've done the most recent Hitman trilogy in the world of assassination. And I've heard, I was excited for this because I was like, oh, the guys who did the most recent Hitman games are doing this? Oh, that's going to be badass. But apparently it's not like Hitman at all. It's more linear, kind of has like an action combat system akin to Arkham. That sounds badass. So I can't wait to play First Light. I missed Prey. That's not a PS4 exclusive, but that was just a game I missed, so I'll have to get that. I missed Uncharted 4, played the trilogy, but missed 4. So, that's in. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. My dad was a Konami guy. He was an older gamer. He was a Metal Gear Solid fan. So, that wasn't really me. I played Metal Gear Solid 4 and Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. Never played this classic, so I'm gonna have to do the remake. Alright, used to love Dynasty Warriors back on, 360, PS2, whichever one it was. Love Dynasty Warriors franchise, so Origins I'm definitely gonna be getting. I don't know if I'm going to dive into every single Yakuza game, y'all, but I do know for a fact I want to play Yakuza Like a Dragon, I want to play Pirate Yakuza, and I want to play Like a Dragon Ishin. So the other 10 plus games, guys, I don't know, but those 3 for sure I want to try. All right, and we're getting close to the end where we started at the beginning. This will end it off. Slitterhead. This is a game that came out in 2024. I thought we were still waiting on this game, to be honest. I forgot that this game had released already. But it's like a weird, I don't think it's survival horror, but it's like action combat horror. So it's like this parasite. You jump from person to person. You can control different NPCs, and it looks like a crazy ass game. It looks pretty cool. So I can't wait to play that. And god damn, y'all, that is it for my backlog. These 2 games just hit my mind. They're not on here, but I guess maybe at some point I'll get into Star Wars Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. I loved the Force Unleashed games, so those, when it comes to combat, the Fallen Order games, they kind of give me that type of vibe. So those 2 I may end up checking out as well. We got some Star Wars games coming out, so that'll be good to kind of settle in with. But yeah, guys, that is it for the backlog, and this kind of concludes the section of why I am done with gaming hardware for the foreseeable future. All right, I said it earlier, there's no way that games within the next 10 years won't look good on a PS5 Pro. All right, so I'm good. I got a Switch 2. I got my Pro. Probably won't be getting a PS6 unless they really convince me and show me there's going to be a difference. And Nintendo, they'll probably do a Nintendo Switch 2 OLED, but I don't know if I'll upgrade to that. We'll see. We'll see. So you guys, be safe, keep pace, have faith out there. It's a crazy world, and like I said, we got so many games coming out. Y'all gotta live. Y'all could have come back and subscribe to hear me bitch, moan, and complain, rant and ramble, and give somewhat, I'm gonna try, cohesive discussions and breakdowns for a lot of these games I like. All right, so be safe, y'all, and I guess we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.